Welcome to our breakdown of Spider-Man and Wolverine issue 4. From savage battles at the Great Wall of China to jaw-dropping reveals you won't see coming, this issue is a wild ride. Let's jump straight into it, but first, a quick recap. A former espionage colleague of Wolverine has reappeared and tasked Logan with retrieving the Janus Directory, a database of spies and double agents. Wolverine located it aboard an old S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier and enlisted Spider-Man's help to crack the system and extract the data. However, Spider-Man discovers a horrifying video in the database. His secret agent parents, Mary and Richard Parker, in their very last moments before their deaths, facing off against none other than Wolverine. Enraged, Spider-Man attacks his former friend, and Wolverine responds by slashing him through the gut. Peter loses consciousness and awakens in the Savage Land wearing a new version of his old costume and a teleporter bracelet locked onto his wrist. Wolverine soon appears, also wearing his old costume and a teleporter bracelet. They realize they're being hunted, escaping Kraven the Hunter and encountering a mysterious new enemy, Dread Shadow. Before they can learn more, their bracelets activate and they're teleported to China, ambushed by Dr. Octopus at the Great Wall of China. So as we begin this issue, Spider-Man starts off by marveling at the absurdity of the situation. Teleported from the Savage Land to the Great Wall of China? That's bizarre, even for my life. He's still severely injured, barely able to stand, and grateful that Wolverine is by his side, even if Wolverine was the one to stab him and may have been involved in his parents' deaths. Wolverine confronts Dr. Octopus, warning him that he's in a particularly bad mood. Doc Ock throws Spider-Man into a crowd, but Peter slows his fall with his webbing. When Peter asks why the fight is happening in public, Doc Ock replies saying that he couldn't pass up the opportunity. But before he can finish, Wolverine snarks, "Yeah, an opportunity to die." Doc Ock taunts them, stating this was all an opportunity to prove his superiority. Spider-Man rolls his eyes internally. Wolverine snarls back, "Superior or not, I bet you bleed the same." Even if they were to get the upper hand against Doc Ock, the teleportation devices will whisk them off again. Wolverine admits he's finding this all a little tiresome. Doc Ock grabs Wolverine and suddenly Spider-Man's bracelet begins to glow red, teleporting him away again. Doc Ock smirks, telling Wolverine that they have given him the chance to prove something to Wolverine too. He was referring to Dread Shadow, who is currently waiting for Spider-Man to teleport into New York, and immediately attacks him, wielding a glowing red sword. Dread Shadow begins to monologue, bellowing that powers and spandex don't make heroes, they make failures. Innocent people die because of them. Meanwhile, Doc Ock is still ruthlessly beating down on Wolverine back in China, taunting him and telling Wolverine that he is not a hero. He is nothing but an animal. Spider-Man is beaten down, both physically and emotionally. Dread Shadow leans in, finger to Peter's face, saying, "You're not a hero, but don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. I've still got so much to show you." Dread Shadow explains that he's rallied those that Wolverine and Spider-Man have defeated before. United, they can punish the heroes more effectively. Then, in a chilling moment, he calls Spider-Man by name, Peter. Spider-Man, in shock, responds, "This doesn't seem fair. You know who I am, but I don't know who you are." And he reaches down, tearing Dread Shadow's mask away to reveal his true face. But unfortunately, Spider-Man still doesn't recognize him, having never seen this person before in his life. Back in China, Dr. Octopus continues tormenting Wolverine, taunting his berserker rage whilst draining him with relentless assault. Doc Ock gloats that wearing Logan down exposes his true humanity. Wolverine, near exhaustion, is pinned to the ground, totally vulnerable to Doc Ock's ongoing attacks. Spider-Man, weakened but determined, attempts to fight back, kicking Dread Shadow in the face and fleeing. Panicked that Dread Shadow knows his true identity, he needs to remove the teleportation device. He reaches the Baxter building, expecting to see the Fantastic Four, but instead, the computer tells him that Dr. Richards is not on this plane of existence. Using their lab equipment, he finally removes his teleporter and wonders if the devices can broadcast as well as receive. Meanwhile, Doc Ock taunts Wolverine that he was right, this is so much more delicious than simply killing you. Wolverine's bracelet unexpectedly activates, and he too is transported to New York, where he reunites with Spider-Man. Peter explains that he managed to remove their teleporters, and figured out a way to get Wolverine back to New York. Spider-Man notes the theme, that this was all meant to show them something deeper than simply vengeance. The villains are trying to prove something, but before they can analyze further, Wolverine is sucker punched by a very fast, 3-blade wielding figure, Peter's sister, Teresa Parker, who pulls a gun with bullets forged from Muramasa steel, the one thing that can hurt Wolverine. As Spider-Man panics, thinking his sister was still in Europe, he pleads for her not to kill him. She coldly responds, "I am definitely going to kill him," because she is also aware that Wolverine is potentially the person that killed her and Peter's parents. And the last thing that we see before the end of this issue is Wolverine with a bullet wound to his gut. And if you're still craving more Spider-Man content, then make sure to check out my Spider-Man playlist, or check out the rest of my channel where I upload content just like this every single week. But for the meantime, peace, peace, peace.